The first time I tilted the Xiaomi G34WQi back on its stand and noticed how much of the colors shifted from different angles, I thought I'd made a mistake until I sat down directly in front of it and realized that's when everything suddenly made sense. The G34WQi is built almost entirely from plastic, except for the steel base plate, which sits completely flat against the desk. I actually appreciated this design choice because it meant I could slide my keyboard right over it without the awkward gap you get with those multi-legged stands. The panel itself weighs about 15.2 pounds, and when you hold the upright in your hand to assemble it, you can feel that it's surprisingly light for something this wide. There's a matte texture on the back and a thin flush bezel up front with a 3H hardness and high glare coating, which keeps the reflections minimal without adding any noticeable grain to the image. The 1500 arc curve feels subtle when you're not sitting in front of it, but once you're centered, it ramps just enough to pull your peripheral vision in without making straight lines look warped. The stand has this shiny metallic strip running down the back, and while it looks fine, there's a bit of wobble if you tap the edges of the screen. Nothing catastrophic, but you'll notice it if you type heavily. Around the mounting bracket on the back, there's an LED ring that's supposed to glow with customizable colors, but honestly it's so dim that I barely noticed it was on. The moment I launched to Doom Eternal at 180Hz, I immediately noticed how vivid the colors looked. The VA panel contrast is differently than the IPS monitors I've been using, with blacks that actually look dark instead of washed out gray. The control response felt sharp with no perceptible input lag, and I could snap the targets without any delay between my mouse movement and what happened on screen. But here's the thing I kept running into. When I moved the camera fast or tracked a moving object, I could see these faint black trails smearing behind it, even with the overdrive cranked to the fastest settings. It's not a deal breaker, but it's one of those small things that only becomes obvious after a few hours of play, especially in fast shooters where you're constantly whipping your aim around. Compared to the OLED I tested this against, the G34WQi feels noticeably slower in motion clarity. The OLED had zero ghosting, while this one leaves just enough of a shadow that I had to put in a bit more effort to lock onto distant targets. For slower-paced games, though, the high contrast and saturated colors made environments feel rich and detailed, and I found myself pausing just to appreciate how sharp everything looked. When you look at the product page, you can immediately tell what Xiaomi wants you to focus on. They highlight the 180Hz refresh rate and the 1ms response time pretty aggressively, which does technically match the specs. But what they quietly gloss over is the overdrive performance, which undershoots even on the fastest setting, creating those black trail artifacts I mentioned earlier. They also make a big deal out of the 95% DCI B3 color coverage and factory calibration, and honestly that part delivers. The colors are accurate right out of the box with a delta E below 2, which is impressive for a monitor under $300. What I find interesting is how little emphasis they put on the HDR functionality, and after using it, I understand why. It's technically there in the OSD, but with no HDR certification or listed peak brightness specs, it doesn't really add much to the experience. It's one of those features that sounds good on paper but doesn't make a noticeable difference in real use. After a few days of using the Xiaomi G34WQi as my primary display, it started to settle into my desk setup in a way that felt natural. The 21:9 aspect ratio gave me just enough extra horizontal space to keep a Discord window open while gaming or split two documents side by side without feeling cramped. I noticed that I stopped thinking about the curve after the first day. It just became the normal way a screen looks to me. One thing I didn't expect to appreciate was how the flat base plate kept my desk from feeling cluttered, since I could push the monitor back and still have space for my mouse and keyboard without bumping into protruding stand legs. The heat venting around the frame pumps out more warm than I anticipated for an LCD, which surprised me given that my OLED runs cooler despite having a built-in power supply. You don't really notice how much the extra width changes your workflow until you go back to a standard 16:9 display and everything suddenly feels narrow. The stand wobble is one of those small things that only becomes obvious after a few hours. If your desk isn't rock solid, even typing can make the screen jiggle slightly, which gets distracting when you're trying to focus. There's also no USB hub or internal speakers, so if you were hoping to plug in a controller or route console audio through the monitor, you're out of luck unless you use the headphone jack. The VA panel's color shifting is noticeable if you lean back or tilt your head even slightly. The contrast and saturation change depending on your viewing angle, which means you really need to stay centered for the best image. It's not a deal breaker, but it's there. If you're the kind of person who wants an ultra-wide gaming experience without spending $1,000 on OLED, this is absolutely worth it. The high contrast, accurate colors, and 180Hz refresh rate punch way above the sub-$300 price point. But if your day is mostly fast-paced competitive shooters where every millisecond of motion clarity matters, the ghosting and slower pixel response might bother you more than the value justifies. For slower games, productivity work, or mixed use where you want that extra screen real estate without breaking the bank. The G34WQi delivers in ways that feel surprisingly satisfying for what you're paying.